You see people in the health world, fitness world. God, how did they get a six-pack? Oh, you gave me a tire around my waist. What happens? Every time I compare, I feel less than. Never compare your becoming to someone else's becoming. Every time I compare myself to someone else, I'm always going to lose my way. Because the gap that God is filling in my life is not the gap between me and you, but rather the gap that God is filling in my life is who I currently am and who He's calling me to become.
Compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today. See, that's a game you can win. You could be a little better today than you were yesterday, and that's a good thing. You know, no doubt there are some things that you could improve. You know, if you sit and meditate for any length of time about what you're not doing optimally, answers will spring to mind.
Stop comparing yourself to other people. You're only on this planet to be you.
The first thing I think you need to understand is that these people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life.
Social media just shows the highlights, right? We live in a time where perception has become our God. And I know this might seem over the top, but we really live in a time where perception has become our God. People are more concerned about the perception of them than the reality of them. They want to make people think they're a certain way than letting the world see how they truly are, right? A lot of insecurity, a lot of significance things that are driven in that whole conversation.
I went on Instagram the other day and I saw Kevin Hart, and I felt like a failure in my whole life. I felt like, what am I doing with my whole life? Within 15 seconds, here I am with a burden on me that I wasn't built for by comparing myself to someone with a different calling.
That little moment that I stopped pretending allowed the real me to come through. Your life journey is about learning to become more of who you are and fulfilling the highest, truest expression of yourself as a human being. That's why you're here.
The ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind. You have to be careful of what you're jealous of because you don't really know what it is. And then the other thing that's kind of useful is to understand that you're different from everyone else.
You see the person traveling the world, you see the person making moves with their life. All these things, and instead of those things inspiring us, sometimes, you know, it discourages us because it makes us think that we aren't where we should be. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes that we can make is comparing our lives to other people's lives, because you have to understand something. Your journey is your journey. You know, we all have different paths in life, and the more we compare our journey to other people's journey, the more we'll appreciate our path of our lives. I should be doing what God has called me to do. I should be doing what's best for my life. You know, because if we pull back the curtains on a lot of people's lives, who knows? Your life could be a lot better than theirs. You know, you might be thanking God that you're not in their shoes. You're wishing to be in their shoes, but once you get in their shoes, you realize that their walk, their path, their journey is a lot harder than yours. And what they were showing you was just something that you can perceive to be great, something that you can perceive to be good, something that you can perceive to be successful. We live in a world full of fakeness.
So I believe that whatever season you find yourself in, married, unmarried, single, divorced, is complicated. I believe you can walk in security. Be the minority because the majority is overrated. We're living in a day and age right now where so many people, they bow down to the culture. And we just start doing what the crowd is doing, whatever the crowd says to do. So many of us, we're just doing things that we don't even agree with or believe in simply because our friends are doing it. The only problem with that notion is that your friends don't have the life that you want.
Don't have a weak mentality. You weren't created to fall apart when pressure comes. You are stronger than you think. You are more anointed than you think. God designed you with special strength, with courage, with fortitude. When you start seeing yourself as strong, empowered, well able, you won't be overwhelmed. You'll discover strength that you didn't know you had.
So if you want to do something, if you thought about something you want to do, take it head on. Decide that you're going to start becoming involved in whatever and wherever it might lead you to begin to explore the possibilities in that particular thing that you're seeking. Decide that you're going to face it, that whatever shortcomings you have, that you're going to strengthen yourself there. Whatever training that's required, that you're going to go get that training. That you're going to get started right now. Do what you can, where you are with what you have, and never be satisfied. Always strive to be more than that which you are. Yeah, don't get satisfied with yourself. Always know that wherever you are, you can enjoy more, that you deserve more.
True leadership is self-discovery. True leadership begins with an individual discovering something about themselves. That's when it really begins. And you will never become a true leader until you are introduced to yourself.
Actually, whatever happened to you that was hard, if you trust God, you can actually end up being a better person than you would have been if it would have never happened. And so God really wants us to take a real positive attitude.
They don't make to other people, they don't keep the promises they make to themselves.
You've got to take care of the small disciplines before life will give you a chance to handle the more complicated disciplines. You start first with the smallest of disciplines, and do not neglect them and do not disregard them as being trifling. Everything matters. Everything's important. All disciplines affect each other. Everything affects everything else. It's so easy to be casual and say, well, this doesn't matter. I'm telling you, everything matters. Then here's the positive side. Every new discipline affects all your other disciplines.
Now, self-discipline, the first thing it does, it enables you to go uphill. Nobody will carry you uphill. Nobody can coach you uphill. Nobody can push you uphill. You got to do it yourself. There are no free rides uphill. There's no such thing as accidental achievements.
So for all of us out there that are chasing after these big dreams and big goals, and we are making changes in our life to get better, all of us out there who know deep down we can do a little bit more in our lives, I want to ask you, what is your definition of success? A lot of people put success on this mountaintop and they say, I'll feel successful when I get here, when I make this amount of money, when I find this person. And a lot of people don't understand that success is all around them right now.
Step up your activity level. Step up your labor level. Go for the disciplines, the smallest of disciplines, the least of disciplines. If you'll be faithful, if you'll be disciplined when the amounts are small, we'll make you a ruler, give you a position of authority when the amounts are many. Take care of your disciplines when the amounts are small. And then life will see to it that you get some extraordinary numbers to work with. Let us not neglect. Do not neglect the smallest of disciplines. And build on that foundation, and you can have everything you could possibly want.
Every multi-millionaire and every multi-billionaire in this world have all decided that I'm going to commit myself to this career, this vision, this goal. No parties. They're going to call you names. They're going to say you're corny. They're going to call you a square. Those are the characteristics of a champion. Those are the characteristics of someone that have said that I have decided that I'm going to create a shift in this universe.
Managing my mind is actually the key to peace and the key to happiness. An unmanaged mind leads to tension. A managed mind leads to tranquility. An unmanaged mind leads to pressure. A managed mind leads to peace. An unmanaged mind leads to stress. If you don't manage your thoughts, you just let them go all over the place. You don't ever even try to control your mind and the way you direct your thoughts. But a managed mind leads to strength and leads to security and leads to serenity.
As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Why? Here's why. Because the heart is the Hebrew word that has to do with the center of reasoning. It's the place where you have meetings with yourself. Because that's where your belief system is hidden. In other words, your heart is also, Paul calls it the hidden man. The psychologists would call it your subconscious mind. I call it your hard drive.
Get going. You got to get going. You got to take action. Don't let neglect destroy your days, destroy your life, and destroy your future. Go back and do what you can. And if you'll do what you can, then life will give you some extraordinary things to do.
I can't wait to go to work today. It may not be the job I want, but at least I got a job. I'm so grateful I got a car to drive to work today. Hey man, at least I got a check coming in. I sure want to thank you, Lord, for this roof over my head today. I appreciate the fact that I don't have a car, but at least I can walk to the train. Man, this is going to be great today. You have got to change the way you think. It is the whole determining factor of where you go in life. We are all where we are today because we thought ourselves to this position.
If you make it to the end of this video, I want you to write, today, I'm gonna decide to not die before I die. I want you to share this video. It's not lonely at the top if you help somebody else get there.
Need a little pick-me-up today? Welcome to the new Fresh Motivation app, where you'll find daily motivation, daily quotes. Listen to your favorite speeches in the background or with a black screen, so nothing interrupts your motivational moment, where you can create your personal profile, create playlists of your favorite speeches and quotes, add personal notes, and start setting goals. Fresh Motivation, the home of motivation. Get it now for free on Google Play.